Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, human beings of all ages, welcome to another edition of Vibrations with Vito with your host, me, Vito. I appreciate all the love and the support and the kind words that people were saying about my last video. I really appreciate that. That meant a lot to me. And honestly, even if those words were not sent and people didn't show support, I was going to do another one of these videos. It gave me a lot of motivation to do another video, I should say that. But I was going to do it anyway because I like doing this. I genuinely enjoy doing this. God has blessed me with the gift of gab, and I believe it's my obligation and my duty to abuse it and use it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be gabbing. I'm going to be running my mouth. I got a lot to say. I usually have a lot to say regardless of the situation, the circumstances. But this gives me an excuse to gab a little more. So that's what I'm going to do. So, like I said, I really appreciate everyone who tunes in. It means a lot to me. So thank you. Another edition. But what's special about this edition, 2 weeks in, and I have received my first sponsorship. This podcast and every other episode will be sponsored by Arosso's Restaurant. Arossos. Arosso's Restaurant in Fairless Hills, Pennsylvania. If you're in the Pennsylvania area, I don't even care if you're in Harrisburg. Make the drive, because it's worth it. If you want Italian cuisine, this is where you need to go. Eat well, love much, eat often. True words, very true words. We love much. We eat well. Gotta eat often. But yes, every podcast. The location will be changing, I promise you. Next week, we will not see the cinder block wall anymore. I'm telling you that. We are already upgrading. The pineapple's coming with me. I wish I could bring this telescope with me. I might. I really might. This telescope got me through a whole summer. 2 years ago. I think at the start of the pandemic, actually, I bought this telescope. And I'm obsessed with space, if you know me. Like, literally, it boggles my mind every time I look up at night. But, so I had the urge to buy a telescope. And I bought a telescope. And the things I could see, the moon looks incredible with a telescope. Let me tell you, I strongly recommend going to buy one if you care about space. That's all. But yeah, the location of this pod will be changing. The content will not. Shout out to Arosso's. Shout out to Dave. Shout out to Mr. V. I love you. I appreciate you. I really do. But yeah, like I said, they got the best gluten-free products in the world. If you are a gluten-free kind of fan, that's how you want to eat. They got the best gluten-free pizza. The bread is gluten-free for the cheesesteaks. All that. But pizza, specialty pizza. They got pasta. My personal favorite, is House Special, it's called. And that consists of penne vodka with crab meat, shrimp. I love seafood. I love pasta. Put the two together. Bada boom, bada bing. I'm ready. So, yeah, go to Arosso. And when you go to Arosso, tell them that I sent you. Because that's what it is. That's what it is. Best Italian cuisine around, I'll tell you that. But like I said, welcome to Vibrations with Vito. Same bottle of wine from last week. I told you I'm a gentleman. I'm not a degenerate. So we're going to continue with the Bella Sera Pinot Grigio Classic Forza Italia. And this was a hit. I love the way it sounded. I don't remember the letters, ASMR or something like that. I don't even know what that means. Something that's satisfying, I think. But this is it. Beautiful. Classy. We are classy. Let me clench my thirst. Oh, yeah. That's that stuff right there. But I will finish that bottle. That's a guarantee. Look, there's not even that much left. I put a dent in it last time. I'm not going to lie. I did have one glass as soon as I pressed record. Before I pressed record, I should say. I want to get this out of the way. I do not have my executive producer with me today. She is a little under the weather. So we are sending our thoughts and prayers for Miss Diener. She's okay, but she's a little under the weather. And the show must go on. It just must. So, you know, it's not the same. I miss her presence. But next week, we're going to be at a new location. We're going to be, me and my executive producer, we will be pulling up at our new location and recording there. So, you know, I'm excited about that. I'm excited right now. To be honest with you, I didn't have the best week. It was very stressful. My work week started from Tuesday because I was off on Monday because I worked the weekend. But from Tuesday to Friday, it was long. It was long. Very stressful mentally, not physically, which is, I mean, I guess I'd rather be physically stressed than mentally stressed, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. Like I said, these are going to be honest vibrations. I'm not faking anything. I'm not trying to put on a fake smile like everybody does at work when they go to work. No, this is real. So if I'm a little under the weather, that's probably what you're going to get. But I'm not. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that my Lord and Savior woke me up this morning. Not everybody wakes up. So that's my message. Let me say that. My message for you today, when you're watching this, be grateful. Be grateful for everything you have. I'm saying everything. If you drive a 1998 Honda, be grateful you even have that car. Because some people walk everywhere. Some people have to ride a bike. You know, so be grateful of that. Be grateful and appreciative of your family, your friends. Kiss everyone. Tell them you love them. Literally, tell them you love them. I mean that. This week, it was rough, but it put things in perspective that life is short. Life is short, so enjoy it. I'm trying to do that. Sometimes I lose sight of that. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not always, everything's great, because it's not always great. But I guess that's what makes life, Because if life was just great all the time, you don't get the other side of the coin, if that makes sense. It's great. You're going to be really happy that everything's great, but you kind of have to have the other side of the coin. Good days and bad days, but you appreciate the good days. A quote from a guy, the janitor at my job. He said, "My bad days are better than some people's good days." And I sat there and I go, "Whoa. That's real, That's real. Your bad day is better than some people's good day, because not everybody's blessed. Everyone's blessed with life, but not everyone's blessed with, the good things of life. Some people have really gone through a lot, So just my message for this week would be appreciative of everything you have. Be thankful, be grateful. That's that. I'm going to take another sip of wine because I'm rather parched. I want to say, yes, this podcast is officially sponsored by Oroso's, but it is unofficially sponsored by Hi Chew. I'm not going to stop until they sponsor me, and I'm telling you, they will sponsor me. I am the biggest ambassador, the biggest customer, consumer, whatever you want to say. That's me. They have been doing great things since 2013 when I was first introduced to them. And it's 2022 now, and they have not stopped. This is a classic bag. So last week I had a stick. That's when you just want one flavor. When you want to mix, this is a classic bag. So it's got grape, green apple, and strawberry. Excuse me. All great flavors. I wish this could stay somewhere. The stick is easy. You just put it on the table, But I don't want to put it over the pineapple because the pineapple is a part of the show. Oh, I would have been so happy. whatever. Just go get a High Chew. And email them. They got an email. They have a Twitter. Go tweet at them and say, Vibrations with Vito sent me. You guys are great. I want to say that I tried a new bag. They just put out a new bag. Fantasy Mix, I think it was called. Fantasy Mix. It's like a bluish pinkish bag. In order from best to worst, in my opinion. Blue Hawaii was a flavor. It was good. Was the worst out of the bunch, though. Rainbow Sherbet was second best. Was really good. And the best out of the bag, and it might have creeped into my top 5 all time. Blue Raspberry. Blue Raspberry was rather good. When I mean rather good, it was really good. Shout out to Amir. He knows. We split the bag last night. Woo! It was very, very good. They're doing good things. They don't stop doing good things. So shout out to High Chew. Sponsor me. I will literally talk about you more than I already do. Anybody who knows me, you might catch me with a pack of High Chews, like straight up. Regardless. But yeah, so shout out to High Chew. Shout out to Aroso. I'm going to chug the rest of this wine. I'm going to tell you that right now. Yo. Hold on. That brings joy to my heart. I don't know. Dina not being here is messing with my mind, because I used to look to her to kind of judge how this was going. Not how this was going, because I kind of know what I'm saying and how the mood is of what I'm pushing out. But it's just the support, the physical support. I know she's at home right now, around the corner, but she's definitely supporting me right now. She's always supporting me. Shout out to Dina, real quick. But okay, so every podcast, every episode, I'm gonna talk about gas prices because it is getting out of hand, people. It is getting out of hand. I don't care how much money you have. Gas is entirely too high. And that's a good point. And I like when I say, like, I made the point in my head and then I said it out loud. But that's how you can judge how much money somebody has. If you see somebody driving a Hummer in 2022 with these gas prices, know that they make chicken. They literally have so much money. Because for me, I drive a Jeep Cherokee. Shout out to Blue Cheese. Oh, wait. A lot of people were concerned about her. So, yeah, she's a little scratched up, but she's really not, I know that it's there, so it bothers me. But if you were looking at me, even if I parked up next to you, you would not be able to tell that anything happened to her. So she's okay. Don't worry about her. I'm going to work on getting the scratches out. I think it's actually going to be good. She'll be all right. I appreciate everyone who was concerned. But so I drive a Jeep Cherokee. If I'm on E, it's like $56, $57. Yeah, that hurts me. It really is so depressing every time I gotta go to the gas station. But if you drive a Hummer, I imagine that it's like $85 to fill up your tank. And can you imagine $85 every time you need to fill up gas? Like, what kind of world are we living in? I don't like it. What is gas? Like $400 a gallon? Like, I don't. By the summer, I think it's gonna be $6.50 a gallon. Right now, when I was driving home, I passed the gas station that I always go to. It was $4.39, which is weird because it was lower than it was yesterday. Yesterday it was $4.44. So, like, is it going lower because we're gonna go back in the right direction, or did they just want to tease us and make everybody, happy for a day? Like, I don't know. I'm very upset about how much gas is. It's crazy how the world is affected by everything. Stock market stinks. I'm gonna say that. Stock market stinks right now. I'm actually in a stock that is all about gas and oil, and I bought it at 66 cents, and it went up to 194, and I was excited. I bought a lot of shares, so I was like, oh, this is gonna go to like $10, $5, something like that, and now it's at 90. So it got me excited, and it doesn't make any sense, but now it's crashing. So I should have got out at 194. Like, in hindsight, everything's always in hindsight. But in the moment, I was so like, we're going to ride this out. I'm going to make some bread, Excuse me. But it didn't work out like that. At this point, I think I'm going to ride it out. If it gets anywhere close to what I bought it for, I'm going to sell. But I think it's going to stay around the 80-cent range. And then if it's going to shoot up, it'll shoot up. And then I'll be there for that. But if it goes anything less, I'm going to sell. You got to take your profits. Shout out to Gedge, my financial advisor, who's not my financial advisor. You got to learn from your mistakes, so you can't be greedy. In the words of DMX, stop being greedy. So I need to learn when to take my profits and when not to, But we're never going to not, I want to make my money and get out of here. But I'm rambling. Shout out to Deshaun Watson, because my man beat every case. He had a lot going on. Actually, I think he still has his civil cases to go, so let me not jump all on board there. But he beat the cases that he had to do or had to beat today, so technically he's a free man. It's just another example of society trying to bring down a successful black man. We won't let it happen. Shout out to Deshaun Watson for now. If anything civil happens, I'll slander him on here, I'll call him a pig and all that stuff. But for now, we'll see. I'm going to reserve judgment until then, even though I just had a statement about it, but whatever. Now, I just looked over at the shirt a couple minutes ago, and I want to share this story. So shout out to the Rossos one more time. So a couple years back, 3 years ago, if I'm correct, and I think I am, it was right before the pandemic, I took a lady out to a date. And I was very nervous about this date. She was a beautiful lady. And I went to go pick her up. And it was weird because she told me that I had to go meet her parents. And this was the first date. We were just going out to dinner. We weren't doing anything crazy. So I go inside. I meet her mother, and her mother is so nice, as most mothers are. And then I meet her dad, and he gives me a firm handshake. Firm. Which is, normal of a father, like this guy I don't know is taking my daughter out. So I meet the family, brief background, telling them this, telling them that. We're leaving. So we go. I take her to a Rosso's. We have a great meal. We have a couple of glasses of wine each. We have plates of pasta. It was that kind of night. So we had pasta and wine. We are chopping it up. I already kind of knew her a little bit, but I wanted to really know her, I was really, not going to lie, I was interested in this woman. So we're having a good time. And then it's time to leave. And, I give my salutations. I say, I appreciate the hospitality. Love you. I'll see you later. And he goes, the owner, Dave, shout out to Dave. He says, you want a shot? And if you know me, the answer for me always is no. I don't want a shot. Ever. I don't care if I'm off for the next week. I probably don't. Internally, the answer is no. So I asked, so he asked that. I look at her, because to me the answer is no. So I look at her, and I go, do you want a shot? She looks at him, and she goes, of what? He goes, I got Patron. She looks at me, she goes, I love Patron. I go, oh boy. So we go across the counter. He passes out shots. I'm driving, so he gives me half a shot. He gives her a full shot. We all take the shot. As soon as that shot hit my stomach, I knew that there was a problem. There was a big problem, people. mind you, I just had a full plate of pasta. I'm pretty sure I had gnocchi with bacon and scallions. Delicious. It was absolutely delicious. But so, my stomach is full, and I just put Patron in my stomach. So now I'm freaking out, because I'm like, you got to get it together. I'm talking to myself. I'm like, you got to get it together. Like, come on. He asked to do another one. I go, no. They do another one, because I got to be somebody's got to be responsible, and I am always the responsible one. So they take another shot. I'm over here trying to make sure I don't, throw up all over this kitchen floor right now. So I'm like, doing a lot of this, trying to like maintain here. Oh boy. We chop it up for about maybe 10 more minutes, and then it was getting late, and she said she had to be home by a certain time. So I'm like, I'm a gentleman, so I'm like, okay, let me take you home. We walk out. I dap my homie up, tell him I love him. We walk out. I open the door for her. As soon as she walks by me, I threw up all over the fucking mat. All over the mat. I almost threw up on her. God bless that I did not. But I threw up all over the place. All the pasta, all the wine that we just drank, and that shot of Patron, half a shot of Patron that I just did. All over the place. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. What a terrible first impression. We just had a great date, mind you. A great date. Threw up all over the place. And I look up at her, and she goes, "Are you okay?" And I go, "Oh, no, I'm not okay." And then the owner, Dave, shout out to Dave one more time, he goes, "Yo, what the hell happened?" He clearly sees the mess. I threw up all over the place. He goes and gets a bucket, and he takes care of whatever he had to take care of. But I threw up all over the place on my first date with this beautiful lady. To be honest, that was our first and our last date. I think that had a lot to do with it. But it's really upsetting because we did have a great date. Like, honestly, I think we were on a date for like 3 hours. We were there chopping it up. We like laughing and we had a great time. And the car ride home to her house was very awkward. I did not get a kiss goodbye as I shouldn't have. I just threw up everywhere. It was bad. It was real bad. But that's a quick story about Arosso's. There's tons of memories at Arosso's, but that one sticks out because it's a memorable one in the worst way, but it's memorable. I could go on a tangent right now of great dates that resulted in nothing. I can think of 3 off the top of my head, but I'm not. That's a topic for another day. Every time I go on, I'm just going to end it with this. Every time I go on a great date and we have a great time, it results in nothing. And I'm not talking about nothing as in, like, a kiss or anything like that. It always ends in a kiss except for that time. But nothing afterwards. We never go on another date. When we have a great date. So, like, my expectations, I don't even know what to think anymore. The next lady that I that lets me take her on a date, I hope we have a crappy date. I hope neither of us enjoy it. Because every time I enjoy a date, and I'm like, wow, that was actually really good. This might lead somewhere. It never leads anywhere, and it just leads me to sadness. But you got to plow ahead. The moral of life is you got to plow through it. So that's what I did. I have not had a date with her since. I've seen her maybe twice after that, and it's just cordial. But, let me finish this wine. I was talking about food, so let me get this out of the way. Today's Friday. I can't eat meat on Fridays during Lent. It's the Lenten season. And it is hard. I love eating meat. Like, literally, I'm a carnivore. Like, right now, I want a double bacon cheeseburger with fried onions, mayonnaise, and lettuce. You know what I mean? Like I'm hungry, and like on a Friday like this, I have to settle for just plain pizza, which is no problem because it's made by my father. Shout out to Vito's Pizza, best pizza in Trenton, New Jersey. Best pizza in the world. Best pizza in the world. Shout out to Vinny. He's gonna be mad at that I called him Vinny. Shout out to Baba. I love you. Don't get mad at me. Where was I? Oh, okay. I lost my train of thought. This wine is already getting to my head. I'm drinking on an empty stomach, I should say. I did not eat yet. I came home for getting a haircut. Shout out to Miguel's Riverside Barbershop. If you need a haircut, go to Miguel's Riverside Barbershop in Bristol. Any of the 3 barbers there will treat you like gold. Shout out to Miguel. Shout out to Romeo. Shout out to Angelo. All 3 of them will get you right. Bring your kids. Some women are there sometimes, you know? Like anybody. Anybody could go into Miguel's Riverside Barbershop and leave looking like a masterpiece, as I am today. You know? Did something different. He did the points up with my beard, so I appreciate, he tried something different. I still look good. Shout out to God. Shout out to Romeo. But yeah, so shout out to Miguel's Riverside Barbershop. Hold on. That's the last of the wine. The thing is, without my executive producer, I don't know how long I'm talking for. I'm talking for 27 minutes right now. That's nice. That's nice. See, like, that's the thing. When I have fun, what do they say? What's the quote? Time flies when you're having fun. And right now I'm having fun, so time is flying. I want to address the elephant in the room. Last night, the Sixers played the Brooklyn Nets, a.k.a. Ben Simmons. He wasn't playing. He was on the bench like a P word. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to try not to curse. But they whooped our bottoms. He didn't play, but Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant came to play, and they whooped us. The first quarter was electric. Even though we were losing in the first quarter, it was electric. Joel was playing great. Let me not say playing great. He was getting fouled like no other. But we had the F. Ben Simmons chance. You could hear it through the whole stadium. It was great. I'm sure he felt that. I'm sure that hurt his heart. Actually, not really. That man makes $40 million a year to do nothing. So, I'm sure he's doing all right. But it hurt my heart because we got our butts whooped. And like yesterday was a primetime game. And the Sixers did not come to play. James Harden played his worst game as a Sixer and the most important game as a Sixer, so I'm not sure I like that. I'm on record saying last week that we gave up nothing for Ben Simmons, but everything we gave up for Ben Simmons, we played last night, and Seth Curry killed us. Seth Curry played better than James Harden. Drummond was hurt majority of the game, but even he played all right. So I didn't like how that game went last night, but I'm not worried because we got Joel Embiid and James Harden. So we'll be all right. But I was very upset watching that game. Your brief Inter update is we play on Sunday against Torino at 3:45. We should win that game. We played in the Champions League on Tuesday, and we beat Liverpool at Liverpool. And no one has beat Liverpool in over a year, at their home field, and we went there and we won. So shout out to Inter. They should win on Sunday. But you never know, because sometimes people just don't come to play, like I just said with the Sixers. What else I want to ramble about here? Oh, okay, wait a minute. So today's March 11th. And it's always a national day. If you were to Google March national days, there's a whole list of stuff that comes up. Majority of the stuff was kind of irrelevant. There was 2 things that stuck out. Today's National 311 Day. And I learned about this today. I didn't know that there was a thing. But 311 is a number that you call for non-emergencies. So, normally, if it's an emergency, someone's breaking in your house or something, you call 911. If it's a non-emergency, but like you need some assistance, you call 311. I didn't know that. And I know a childhood friend of mine used to live on the same street that I still live on. She's a 911 operator, and we had a brief conversation a while back. But she just was telling me about what her day is like, and and honestly, it's got to be tough to be a 911 operator. I hope she's having a great day. Shout out to Alyssa. She lives East Bumble. I have no idea where she lives now. But good thing for Instagram. So that's how I got back in touch with her. She lived on the street, so she was my childhood best friend. And then she moved somewhere. Fun fact about her, she smacked the dog shit out of me in my backyard. We were jumping on my trampoline, having a good time. I'm telling you, I'm like 4 or 5, maybe 6. We're jumping on my trampoline in my backyard, having a good time. She asked me to do something. I didn't want to do it. And she smacked the shit out of me. She smacked me so hard that my sister that was inside the house heard it. Opened the window in the bathroom, in the upstairs bathroom, and was like, "Are you okay?" And I was holding my face. She smacked the crap out of me. So that's a joke that we talk about nowadays. But I have, I don't have a lot of contact with her nowadays, but maybe that's for the better. Maybe she'd beat the crap out of me now. I'm rambling. Oh wait, I didn't even get to. So National 311 Day. It's also National Promposal Day. So I wish Dina was here for this because she experienced this live. My senior year, I decided to take a lady out to prom. I wanted to ask her to prom, but I knew I had to ask her in an extravagant way because she's an extravagant lady. So I asked. Oh, let me just give a brief background. Every morning in high school, there would be the morning news. Like there'd be students that would tell you, what teacher's absent, what team plays today. Like if the soccer team played, they'd tell you they play at 3 o'clock against blah blah blah. Okay. So every morning, because there was a television in everyone's room. So that morning, I decided I was going to go ask them if I could ask somebody to prom. And they were like, "Oh my God, yeah, that'd be great." So I got on TV in front of every student in the building. And if you know me, you think like I'm okay with that. Internally, I was so nervous. I was so filled with anxiety. I don't do good when a lot of people are looking at me, but at that time it was just the camera, kind of like how it is now, just the camera, no one else around. The people who do the morning news, they were behind me, so I couldn't see them. So it wasn't a big deal at that moment, but I was so nervous. My hands were sweating. So I get on there. I say that I have a special announcement, and then I say the woman's name. And I go, "I would love to take you to senior prom." If the answer is yes, text me a check emoji. If it's a no, send me the X emoji. So I got in front of everyone virtually because it was on the TV, and I said what I said, and I went back to homeroom like nothing happened. Everybody's like, "Hey, you did a great job, yeah!" I'm nervous because I still didn't know if she would say yeah or not. I had an idea that she would say yeah. She ended up saying yes. Come to find out, she did not want to go with me at all. That's besides the point. But when I found out afterwards, it kind of did hurt my feelings. But in the moment, I took a step into, maturing because I got out of my comfort zone and I got in front of everybody. And I said all that. But it's National Promposal Day, so that's why I said that. That's my story. Nothing else to it. Shout out to her. She knows who she is. I hope. She's living her best life. So, God bless her. I hope God keeps blessing her. I wanted to talk about, I saw this in the news. They're making a sequel out of I Am Legend. And as a society, we need to stop making sequels of movies that were good. That's how I feel. There doesn't need to be a second I Am Legend. Doesn't Will Smith die in I Am Legend with the dog? Didn't the dog and I Am Legend die? Or did I watch the wrong movie? So what's going on? They've made sequels. So this is what I want to say. They've made some sequels of some terrible sequels to great movies. I didn't even know this until today. They made the movie The Mask with Jim Carrey. They made a second one. It was called Son of the Mask. Why? Why did they do that? Terrible. They made a second Independence Day. The Will Smith classic. Was it a great movie from start to finish? Not really. But it was a good movie. They made a second one. Why? Why did they do that? I have a list of another one. I can't think of it right now. Let me tell you. Daddy Daycare. They made it was Daddy Day Camp. Why? Why? The one with Eddie Murphy? Untouchable. Now I'm getting angry because Daddy Day Camp. That I remember watching it. That was terrible. What else? Space Jam. This one some people aren't gonna like. That's Space Jam with Michael Jordan. Classic. Like literally classic. You shouldn't have touched it. Ever. But they made one with LeBron James. I get it. Like he's the best player of this generation. That's fine. But don't make another movie. Make a different concept. I didn't watch it, and I probably won't ever watch it. But it was silly. Like, just the idea of, like, just leave it alone. Literally, leave it alone. Please. Literally, leave it alone. I hate when people do that. Like, just leave the movies that were good as branch off. Do something different. Make a note of it, like, in the movie. Like, oh, something about... No, they got to make it up, too. And I've had enough. This is totally irrelevant, but they're making a Buzz Lightyear movie. If you're making a Buzz Lightyear movie, you gotta have Tim Allen as the voice of Buzz Lightyear. It's the dude from Captain America. Chris Evans? That's my guess. I think that's his name. Chris Evans? It's got to be Tim Allen. I'm all about consistency, like in life. You got to be consistent with what you're doing. And if Buzz Lightyear my entire life has been Tim Allen, why are we just changing it to Chris Evans? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't like it. But that's just me ranting. I sound like your local Italian uncle who's just mad at everything. The vibrations in this one have been very different than last week. I don't know. I'm all over the place. One more thing I wanted to talk about. Calvin Ridley, if you know who he is, he got in trouble for betting on sports, and this man is a professional football player. Mind you, he didn't play majority of the season this year because he had mental health issues. The team says it was serious. Like, it wasn't a Ben Simmons case where he just didn't want to play. This man had actual mental health issues, so I hope he, recovers from that. But he wasn't playing. But he was also putting in bets on the Falcons to win. So my thing is like, who cares, My thing. He wasn't playing, so he didn't really have an effect on the game. But he was betting on his team to win. So he's suspended for a year because they caught him. I could be wrong, but I think he was betting under, like, his name. So it was, like, saying Calvin Ridley on whatever sports betting he was using, which was silly, But, so he bet $1,500 total, and he lost out on $11 million, which he would make this year. So, in hindsight, terrible business decision. But he will bounce back. I'm sorry. This episode is different because I don't have my executive producer. I'm going to say that again. I'm sorry about that. And she's sorry about that. She really wanted to be here. I know she did. But next week, I'm going to tell you, we're going to be in a new location. The audio will sound better. That was the thing. On the last one, I don't have a sense of how loud I am. I really don't. I'm 100% Italian, and we always yell. We're not yelling at each other like I'm angry at you. That's just how the tone that we talk. And again, with like last week, I didn't think I was yelling or I was talking loud, but it turned out that I was. I was a little loud in the video, but it is what it is. So hopefully today. Not so bad. But yeah, so Calvin Ridley, I started thinking about Pete Rose. He got in trouble for betting on games, but he was the coach, so that was different. He could control everything. If he wanted a bad pitcher to come in and blow the game, he could do that. I don't know. The majority of the time, he was betting on them to win, so, that's called confidence, in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to take a drink because I'm parched. So, my issue with Calvin Ridley's 1-year suspension is there's been plenty of players that have beat women up and got suspended for like 4, 5, 6 games, which doesn't make any sense. Like, literally got in trouble for domestic violence against a woman and only got suspended for a half game. This man was betting on his team to win the game while he wasn't there and he is getting a full year. Silly. Very silly in my opinion. I can't really think of too much else that I wanted to talk about. Fun fact about me, my mind races all day long. Whether I'm being recorded or not, I'm thinking of a million things. And this is all off the top of my head. I can't think of much else to say. Forza Inter, that means let's go Inter. They play Sunday, like I said before. That's really all I'm looking forward to. I'm off the weekend. I can't wait to sleep in tomorrow. The point of these is I'm pushing out vibrations. Positive, realistic vibrations, So this is how I'm feeling at this moment in time. I have no idea what the night is going to hold for me. If I could control everything, I'd be sleeping by 9:15 because I'm rather tired today. I had a long day. But I appreciate anyone who's going to watch this video. Like, literally, whether we talk consistently or we don't, I appreciate it. I really do. Like, I'm not just saying that to say it. I really mean that. It means a lot to me. And some of the people that were saying some kind words that really, like, hit my heart, like, wow. I should be doing this consistently. So, thank you. Again, thank you. I'm going to chug the rest of this wine, and I think I'm going to sign off. Right before I do, though, I just want to say, keep praying for the people of Ukraine. They need it. I'm tired of this, and I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm tired of this. Those people are just trying to live their regular lives, and they can't, because people just want to cause violence, and that's what they're doing. It's just unwarranted violence, and that's not okay. So keep praying for them. But I'm gonna end each one by saying, keep praying for me. As I keep praying for you, I pray for everybody, no matter who you are. I pray for my friends, my family, my enemies. I don't even have any enemies, but like people who might not like me for no reason, people I don't know. I pray for you. I hope God blesses you in every way imaginable. We're all God's children, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. We really are. So I'm gonna finish this glass off, and I'm gonna sign off. Like I said, I appreciate everybody. I really do. I love all you. Next week, you will not see the center block behind me, concrete behind me. Shout out to the pineapple. I freaking love that thing. Ciao for now.